A number of people have had good luck with my Italian cast-on demystified video. But I have found when I teach this that some people have hands that just don't want to do those maneuvers. And so I would like to show you an alternative way to do Italian cast-on, and I will call this the mantra method, because you only need to memorize the mantra and follow it, and you don't really need to understand exactly what you're doing to get the cast-on to work. So as a reminder, the setup for Italian cast-on is very similar to slingshot longtail cast-on. The primary difference is I usually put the tail end over my index finger and the skein end over my thumb, which is sort of the opposite from how most people would do longtail, but it does work either way. So if you have trouble getting into that, you just start with the loop. You have your index finger and thumb, and you just put them under the loop, and then take the two strands that hang down and clamp them in those three fingers. So you have a little slingshot, or I tend to think of it as a bow. Bling, bling, bling. The way I get started, middle finger on the bow. There's my right needle. And so here's the maneuver. So right needle down in front, up in the middle, and rotate it down behind and scoop that back yarn forward to create a stitch. And now I'll let go of my starting loop and tighten that up, but not too tight. So there's my knit. And then the purl is sort of the mirror image. It's behind, up in the middle again, and down in front, and you scoop that front yarn all the way away from you. So there's the purl. So let's do that again. So down in front, up in the middle, scoop the back yarn, down in the back, up in the middle, and scoop the front yarn. Down, up, and scoop. Down, up, and scoop. Don't hang on too tightly. If you do, these little twists will tend to sort of migrate up the side of the needle. You need a little bit of slack so that you have enough yarn to let those stitches form. And I have found that this is a sort of figure 8 maneuver. So if you have hands that naturally want to do a figure 8, you may find this version of the cast-on to be more suitable. So do as many as you need. When you are ready to turn the work, notice I slide the stitches down on the shaft. I don't want them up near the tip where they might escape. And I can just pinch and turn. And there I've turned. If you look closely, you'll see the tail is horizontal and the skein is vertical. And just make sure you've got that little twist right there. You want to set yourself up so that when you start knitting, that little tail end will be caught so that it can't escape. You don't want this first stitch to evaporate. And now that I've turned the work, you may be able to notice that all the knit stitches are facing to the right or east, which means instead of working them the normal way, you're going to need to work them through the back of the loop to keep them untwisted. So if you are a combination knitter, which in fact is what I'm doing right now because I'm wrapping my purls the other way, if you're a combination knitter, this won't throw you off. If you are a regular knitter, however, this may be a little strange. So you just have to remember for that first row, make sure you work all those knit stitches through the back of the loop. And when I get to the last two stitches, I want to be just up on the tippy tips of the needle because I don't want to accidentally stretch them out of shape. They're easy to stretch. And let me just get this little one here. There we go. Okay, and I will turn the work again. And there we are. Italian cast on and 1x1 ribbing. So between this video and the other video, you have two methods for doing Italian cast-on, and I hope one of them will work for you whenever you need to do this cast-on.